Hey, college and career students. There were some questions on what to do for the notes guide, and I think maybe the terms were a little confused as far as define and make an example. So that's actually all part of the notes process. So when you're taking notes for any class, there's going to be important terms, and you are going to want to have the definition that your teacher gives you in your notes. It's good to take that teacher's definition though and maybe put it in your own words. It becomes more meaningful if you do that. And then you're going to want to come up with an example to help you remember the term. So that is part of the notes taking process. It's not like, okay, define it, then, give an example, then write some notes. It's all part of the notes taking process. And thank you for the people who asked about what to do for this, because then I knew there was confusion. For all of you that stayed quiet or copied from the internet, just random definitions. Oh my goodness. It wasn't, you, you weren't really doing what you needed to do. And it made me aware that I wasn't making things very clear. So I'm going to go over this presentation with you. Essentially, most of what you're going to put in your notes guide comes from the presentation. Now, for period one, I gave you 12 pages of the assignment. Please only do the first page. The other two periods, period 4 and 5, you got the one page, and so you're ready to go. Thinking about your habits is really important to do because habits, we do them automatically. And the ones that are established, the ones that we've been doing a long time, we don't even think about them anymore. It's almost like when you're in water, you don't see water, or air. That's a better example. You don't see the air because you're surrounded by the air. But if you go up in the mountains and you look down, you can actually see the air that you're breathing. It's all smoggy and gross. So we don't see what's all around us, and we don't see our habits. It's really important to think about them though, because our habits become our make up who we are. And if we have really good habits, we end up becoming really effective people who make great things happen for ourselves. And if we have a whole lot of bad habits, we end up having a lot of struggles in life. So I'm going to try to help you learn about how to develop some good habits and do it in a relatively easy manner. Because if things are too hard, we're just going to give up on it. We're not going to do it. So let's think about how we can make our life more positive by developing positive little habits. So first of all, I want you to think about your identities. So you're going to write some identities down. And I just gave you some example of mine. They're really neutral identities. It's not like good, bad. We're not really adding adjectives necessarily. We're just using nouns to describe ourselves. I'd prefer you stay away from adjectives because a lot of times we don't really describe ourselves accurately. We think we know ourselves really well, but just depending on our mindset, we can oftentimes inflate who we are, or we can also deflate who we are. Like we just kind of beat ourselves up sometimes, or sometimes we just think we're awesome at everything, and really we're not. We're just kind of average people, which is fine. So I want you to come up with some nouns for your identities. And then I want you to think about building on your identity and making it better. What could you do to make each of these identities better? And then are there other identities you can create? So in the long run, like where would you want to be someday, maybe? So our most automatic habits are a collection of cue, craving, and response. Essentially, we're animals, right? And like when the dogs hear like the dog food rustling, what do? They come running. They're excited about their food. They're going to get to eat their food. And so like it's very anticipatory. We're animals too. We have that same response. The difference between us and the animals, so the animals can be trained. Like you can train your dog to like sit before you feed them, and Like that's what my dogs do. So you can train them, but they're not training themselves, right? They're not like, oh, I would be a better behaved dog if I sat first before I ate. No, that's not what animals do. But humans can do that. And that's what makes us just that much more unique than all the other animals on the planet. We can train ourselves, we can train our habits. We're not necessarily a collection of what biology tells us to do. We can go beyond that. So here I gave you the definitions I do want you to use. Now I know some of you like you pulled up definitions off of the internet, like response, like you wrote a definition of a written response. That's not a response, at least for here. That's a response for something else. So, yeah, I mean, you could use that as an example. Like, I wrote the Q was the teacher's question, and so I really desired to get a good grade. That was my craving. And so my response was to answer the question, right? So you could make it that, or we can make it something simple like you see cookies, you want cookies, you eat cookies. Okay. Um, so a cue is something that triggers a response. A craving is something that you want to do because of that cue, and then the response is what you end up doing. So we come into a room that's dark. What is our craving? To be able to see. So what's our response? We turn on the light. Cue, craving, response. These are the 4 rules for atomic habits. The one that we're going to be looking at is make it obvious. You don't have anywhere in your notes guide for this, so you can just relax for a minute. The other 3 we're going to go over on the next video, which will be make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. So any new habit you want to develop, you have to make it obvious. If you don't make it obvious, it's never ever going to happen. You've got to set yourself up for success. So you got to plan ahead. You determine a time. For example, I will sit at my desk and check my to-do list in Google Classroom at 2 p.m. and then set a reminder. So making it automatic, and we're going to bring that up again later on. The more things you can make automatic, the better off you're going to be, because it's just so easy to forget because you get busy doing something else. I don't know how many times my youngest son, like when he's supposed to get started with his homework, he's like, "Oh yeah, as soon as I get done with this X probably game, I'll get on it." And then I come back in a half an hour later and I'm like, "You said you were almost done with your game. What do you still?" He's like, "Oh man, I forgot." Well, why did he forget? Because he didn't plan ahead and set a reminder. You've got to stop and set a reminder for yourself, because if you don't, you're going to forget. Now, with our phones, it's really easy. Once you put it in your phone, you could have that reminder go off every day. You can even label the alarm like this is like the Google Classroom check time or whatever. And then that cue, Google Classroom check time, becomes the cue for you to then go in and start filling some of those needs. So your response is to check it and then see your to-do list, and you see like, oh, I've got 4 things due today, and you want to start. So you have a craving to like get your work done. Yes, you all have that craving, right? And your response is starting to get those things done one by one. Okay. Another thing that is really effective is habit stacking. I've talked to you guys about this before. So you take something you already do, you do it every day, and it could be something you really like, or maybe something that's just automatic, and then you attach something to it. So let's say that you want to start flossing your teeth because it's very healthy. You all should do that. But you just never have started flossing. You attach it to something you already do. Well, what do you already do? You probably brush your teeth. I'm just guessing. You brush your teeth. Attach it to that. Okay, I attach new habits to drinking coffee because I like coffee. So attaching new habits to something that you like, that's also really effective. Okay, and then change your environment can prime you for success. If you're like studying, clearing your desk of any distractions can be really helpful. Like I know a lot of you like to I don't know, have Discord going on in the background. That's a really bad idea. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop doing that. Clear your desk of distractions. Close those tabs. Close the tabs that are distracting you. Turn off the notifications. Other ways to prime the environment are like to set things up. Like I really respond to a clean, orderly environment. So I would want to set everything up so it looks really nice, and then I'm more likely to want to get to work. Maybe I need a notebook. I'll have my notebook out. I'll have my pretty colorful pens because I like pretty colorful pens, whatever. You prime it so that you're more likely to get it done. Okay, guys, so that is all I'm going to go over for with you. My recommendation to you is that you use this um, PowerPoint to help you fill in the notes guide. It matches it pretty well. It's not, maybe not perfect, but it matches it pretty well. I actually used the note guide to make the PowerPoint, so it matches it pretty well. You can, it's not my number one choice. You could just copy this stuff down and you're done. That's not my number one choice for you. My number one choice for you is to write things in your own words, make your own examples. Um, that's a better way to actually make it something that you will remember. But minimally, if you just struggle with that, if you're just not there yet, you can copy it down. But as we're going to get into our next lesson, you need to make things challenging for yourself. If you're not making things challenging, you're not going to want to do it. It just is boring. And I think just copying stuff off a page is really boring. Maybe I don't want to think because thinking's hard, but adding that extra effort into thinking and thinking, how can I rephrase this to make it meaningful so I'll remember it? That's a really good thing to do and makes it a little more challenging. But if you're not there yet, I understand you can copy it. Okay, I hope this was helpful. If you do still have questions, then make sure to send me a message and remind, and I'll try my best to answer it. Okay, bye guys.